Alright guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. So today, Yachiru Kusajishi, we're taking a look at this awesome support option for any Slash team. Now, there is quite a few options if you want to consider other characters. Obviously, the best option being, for example, the SSR Kisuke Urahara. Now, if you do not have him, since he's an SSR character, then there is the option of playing, for example, Orihime. However, in my opinion, the best support option, other than the SSR version, is going to be Yachiru. And I'm going to show you in this video everything you need to know about her. Now, the best weapon stamp choice for Yachiru is going to be the Enough Talk. Now, this is going to be her signature weapon, obviously. So with that, it's going to provide the most usefulness, right? Essentially, when Yachiru is spectating, which is, let me quickly press on it. Basically, the inspiration is when releasing the ultimate or having a certain amount of ultimate energy. That is inspiration, by the way. Yachiru will provide a 6 seconds 10% slash damage boost to her teammates. Spectate, on the other hand, it basically increases the on-field character's attack by 20%, while basic and special attacks grant Yachiru ultimate energy, right? So these are the two things, sort of the two special states sort of Yachiru goes into, right? Now, when Yachiru is spectating, which is essentially this here, right? Reaching 25 or 75% of her ultimate energy grants teammates inspiration. On top of that, essentially 6 seconds, 10% slash damage boost, which also provides on top of that a 15% crit damage bonus. So essentially she is an awesome boost for any kind of slash setup because she provides crit damage boost, she provides slash damage boost, and she provides an overall 20% attack boost, which is just insane if you're considering this. If you compare this to, for example, other SR versions, like, for example, Orihime, then Orihime cuts a bit short in terms of the effectiveness of boosting slash-specific team members. Now, in terms of skill priorities, if you understand Yachiru, and Yachiru is one of those characters, especially if you're playing on auto, the AI does an awesome job of actually utilizing Yachiru, because Yachiru is never really meant to stay on the field, right? So her abilities are going to be essentially first upgrading the passives, right? These are going to be your priority. After that, you want to level up the ultimate first, because the ultimate is essentially basically, again, as it says here, her taking things seriously for once and unleashing all of her spiritual power, she basically attacks only by enemies. However, what is interesting is going to be she grants inspiration to all teammates, increasing their slash damage by 10%, 10% for 6 seconds, and also, if switched out within the next 3 seconds, she will immediately hit the field with Spectate, which gives, on top of that, another 20% of damage boost. So the AI, whenever you're running this on the auto play, for example, the AI will instantly switch her out after she does her ultimate, which is just goated, especially if you're trying to like chill farm, for example, for the game, right? After that, last but not least, you want to level up her her technique. Obviously, this one, if switched out after using it within the next 3 seconds, she will essentially proc the Spectate, which also boosts the attack again. So overall, as you can see, a lot of boosting going on. Now, in terms of her ascension levels, it's going to be interesting. Now, obviously, the best one is going to be A6, right? When Yachiru is spectating, the on-field character attack increases by an extra 12%, essentially boosting it up to 32% attack damage boost, which is crazy. However, if you're like just looking for a good stopping point, A2 is going to provide the most, because this grants an extra 8% slash damage bonus, which basically summons it up to a total of 18% slash damage bonus increase. That is going to be the best stopping point. I currently have her at A4. At A4, you're going to get on top of that another ultimate recharge rate by 30% on top, which is also nice because that allows her to use her ultimate again. And if we're going back to her ultimate will essentially grant inspiration. And if then switched out, it will grant spectate. So that's going to be the way it is. No, in terms of stamps, the best set is going to be the Hidden Wisdom, right? Obviously, the Hidden Wisdom 2-piece increases the base HP by 16%, and the 3-piece after releasing a technique, the entire team gains a 10% boost for all damage dealt that lasts for 25 seconds. So this, on top of her already boosting capabilities, is just the icing on the cake on top, right? And again, her signature core stamp is going to be the way you want to actually equip her, right? This one here, essentially, when Yachiru is spectating, it's releasing her ultimate, or releasing her ultimate does not replace the current on-field character. Instead, all characters in the team gain 18.75% crit rate bonus for 15 seconds. Bro, like this right there, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is heavy. If you're gonna go back to her ultimate, again, this one here doesn't have a crit damage increase. Due to her core stamp, it has now a crit damage increase. If you're adding that with the inspiration, where is it again? Let's go here. If you're adding that with the inspiration, right? The 10% slash damage boost, for example, which going on top, plus the 20% spectate boost, bro, we're looking at damage numbers. All right, so let's talk teams. Now, assuming, I'm going to assume that you already have the Bankai Ichigo. If you have Bankai Ichigo and Byakuya, the best setup is going to be Bankai Ichigo as your main DPS, Byakuya as your tactical battlefield skill supplying character, and then Yachiru as the best support, unless you have obviously Kisuke Urahara. Now, if you do not have Bankai Ichigo, but you have, for example, Byakuya, then the best team is going to be Shikai Ichigo, right? Alongside Byakuya as your battlefield tactical skill, and then running Yachiru as support. Now, if you do not have Byakuya, then the best team is going to be Shikai Ichigo alongside Rukia for the tactical skill. She provides the free support. And then the supporting type character is going to be Yachiru Kusajishi. These are the 3 top tier teams which are going to work extremely well, and they will definitely carry you quite far in the game. Now let's actually run in a match right now, and let's actually see how this is going to turn out, how to actually play her, and what rotations you need to take into consideration. Now, obviously, the rotations here are based upon the setup I'm running, obviously with Byakuya and Ichigo. So first up, you want to run always with Byakuya, activate his technique, switch out to Yachiru. Yachiru is then going to proc the spectating skill, essentially granting Ichigo now an on-field DPS boost. Now, we are in the Kido here right there. Now, Ichigo is going to stay most of the time on the field. We're switching back out to Byakuya now, activating his technique again, and then switching back. Our buff is still active, right? Now we're back on Yachiru. Let's see, does the AI actually... No, the AI didn't use the ultimate. Now, ideally, you want to use the ultimate now. Let's actually run the ultimate once, or I think we beat him already. Yep, okay, we finished him. We finished him. Yeah, let's go. Byakuya is there. Technique again. We already have a full tactical skills up. So we're running again Ichigo. Ichigo is pushing on the field. Yachiru is coming out again, providing the buff, right? As you can see, the damage numbers, if you pay close attention to the damage numbers, we are actually doing considerable amount of more damage whenever Yachiru actually provides her buff. You can literally see whenever the buff runs out that the damage numbers just go down by a bit. Now, I think we finished the stage, did we? I think that was the last one, was it? No? Yeah, it was the last one. Nice. So essentially, Yachiru boosting capabilities equals OP. And with that, we're going to conclude here. Now, Yachiru, again, in my opinion, the best slash support if you do not have an SSR Kisuke Urahara. And even if you have him, she is still a viable option to run in specific scenarios. So do give her a try. Let me know down below in the comment sections what you think about Yachiru and what is your main setup currently. What kind of teams are you running? Let me know. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Take care of yourselves. Until next time.